It's easy to give up, and that's the one thing we cannot do. That's what gives me a reason for working, to leave people with a little more courage, with a little hope that has been nourished, even if, of course, it's going to disappear. Whatever touches one isn't lost forever. Every choice I've ever made has been dictated by a formless hunch rather than by strict logic. The life of a play begins and ends in the moment of performance. This is where author, actors, and directors express all they have to say. If the event has a future, this can only lie in the memories of those who were present and who retained a trace in their hearts. To be violent is the ultimate laziness. War always seems a great effort, but it is the easy way, and false non-violence is also an idol. Never ask yourself what you have learned. Only ask yourself what the circumstances which are different from last year are. In that way, you can apply last year's lessons. The meaning of a theater event is that none of us could see something so clearly as with the new energy that is brought with the meeting of a theme, actors living it, and an audience gradually entering it to live it with them. Through a shared aim, shared needs, shared love of a shared result in theater, from the creation of space, the coming together of an endlessly repeated climax of shared performance. Being with the mainstream isn't very difficult. The tide is powerful, and it is easy to let it sweep us along with it. But going against the tide is very difficult. First of all, one must recognize very exactly what the tide is and where it is going. I've always worked a bit like a cook in a big restaurant, where you've got lots and lots of things laid out, and you go and look into one cauldron, and you look into the other, and you see what's coming to the boil. I can take any empty space and call it a bare stage. A man walks across this empty space whilst someone else is watching him. And this is all that is needed for an act of theater to be engaged. I am ready to disclaim my opinion, even of yesterday, even of 10 minutes ago, because all opinions are relative. One lives in a field of influences. One is influenced by everyone one meets. Everything is an exchange of influences. All opinions are derivative. Once you deal a new deck of cards, you've got a new deck of cards. Time, which is so often an enemy in life, can also become our ally if we see how a pale moment can lead to a glowing moment, and then turn to a moment of a perfect transparency, before dropping again to a moment of everyday simplicity. A word does not start as a word. It is an end product, which begins as an impulse, stimulated by attitude and behavior which dictates the need for expression. Reality is a word with many meanings. Nothing in theater has any meaning before or after. Meaning is now. The work of rehearsal is looking for meaning and then making it meaningful. Drama is exposure, it is confrontation, it is contradiction, and it leads to analysis, construction, recognition, and eventually to an awakening of understanding. Preparing a character is the opposite of building it, is demolishing, removing brick by brick everything in the actor's muscles, ideas, and inhibitions that stands between him and the part, until one day, with a great rush of air, the character invades his every pore.